Hello, friends. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at November 2020 and the energies for life path number 9. So, nines, November is a universal 6 energy month. And so, collectively, we could be feeling energy around community, unity, love, family, health, service, and compassion. And so I do feel like this month, again, collectively, the spotlight is really going to be on home and family and potentially community as well. And so it's important to, as you move through this 6 energy, to set and maintain healthy boundaries and also respect the boundaries that others have put in place as well. It's okay to say no, and it's okay for others to say no to you. So this month especially, because the 6 energy is very loving and nurturing and giving, and sometimes when that is in its extreme form, it can be a little smothering. And so it's really important this month to be aware of how you're presenting yourself, be aware of the difference between being helpful and interference when it comes to others, as well as how, when others are showing up to you as well. So oftentimes when we embody this 6 energy, we are showing up to help others, but if they haven't asked for that help or accepted that help, and we still insist on helping, then at some point it transitions into interference. And so just be mindful of how you're approaching others and how you're allowing others to approach you this month. Again, it's not done out of vengeance or ill will or anything like that. It's just sometimes we can be overcome by this beautiful 6 energy and kind of take it to the point where we end up smothering the other person. And so when 6 energy is in its highest expression, it's an energy that really recognizes this, like the sense of responsibility we all have for our own well-being, as well as the well-being of others. And so that's where that energy of community really comes to play. So you may see that show up this month as well, where there's this sense of wanting to find unity and to bridge the gap between any division. And so just be aware of that and how that comes in for you, making sure that as you try to bridge that gap, that you're not overstepping any bounds and actually interfering. So November, I broke down the month into 4 weeks. And the beginning of the month, the very first week, we have this energy of sort of having some new ideas coming in, making a plan, and setting your sights on that vision, right? But understanding that these ideas, this new plan will potentially take some time to come to fruition and take some time to build. So this is kind of an energy of contemplation and evaluation of your ideas and how you want to move forward, what you want to create, what relationships you want to bring into your life, what relationships maybe are no longer working, that sort of thing. So it's kind of this contemplation energy, this self-discovery energy, but having a specific plan in place. And so again, you have this overall idea of what you want to achieve, but you understand that there's no rush to get there. It's kind of like you are willing to take your time and do it right so that it's not rushed and so that it doesn't fall apart at the seams down the road. So there's really kind of like this legacy building kind of energy, but it's based around your desires, your passion, what drives you, that sort of thing. So it's very self-focused, but in being self-focused, it's also community focused, because when we're following our own passions and our desires and what really ignites us, then others benefit from that energy. And so, but again, it's also this mindfulness of understanding that, Rome wasn't built in a day. So it's kind of like take your time, make sure that you are methodical in your steps moving forward, and that you take into account all of the ideas and everything that kind of comes in for you, the inspirations that come in. You may not use every piece of them. You might not use every idea, but sort of explore those ideas. And that's kind of the energy that's coming in this first week. So give yourself the space and the time to be able to explore that, those new ideas and that excitement in that kind of way, understanding that it's slow moving, but there's a lot of magic in that slowness. Then we move into the second week of November, and there's this real kind of light, joyful energy around maybe celebration, getting together with friends and family, welcoming a new baby. I don't know where that's coming from, but you never know. And so we've been in lockdown for a really long time. So there could be, again, that welcoming of new life, and whether that's just welcoming a new direction in life. There just seems to be this really light energy around the second week of November for you nines, and it's really beautiful. So embrace it, enjoy it. If it's not you actually getting together face to face with friends and family, then perhaps it's doing it virtually, but it's connecting to and embracing your support system and just feeling that lightness and that joy, and letting the stresses of the world fall away while you sort of, again, ignite that inner child energy and just feel the joy and allow yourself the space and the time to experience whatever this is in a joyful way. Then we move into the third week of November, and it's interesting. It's almost like this kind of this polar opposite energy. It felt very light and jovial the second week of November. We move into this energy of the need to release something this third week of November. And it really feels like, now it can be something physical, this is a general reading, so of course it can show up in a myriad of ways. But so it can be something physical for some, but what I'm really feeling is as though this is something more emotional that needs to be released. So some kind of outdated belief system, or, some kind of dialogue that you continue to have with yourself that's just no longer serving you. And this kind of comes up a lot for nines, only because you guys are that humanitarian energy and you're constantly giving of yourself to others. And when that's coupled with this six energy, collectively, then we really have this opportunity to sort of interfere or to overstep boundaries, but also to be really, really hard on yourself. And so again, it's this opportunity to nurture yourself or allow others to nurture you for a change, and releasing that need to be the hero in everyone's life, or releasing that need to be the martyr, and understanding that sometimes you need to be the one that's receiving the support, that's receiving the nurturing, that sort of thing. So again, it's kind of this release of the need to be everything to everybody. Okay, I'm going to repeat that because I think it's really important to nines. This third week of November, it's this energy of releasing the need to be everything to everybody. You are not meant to be another person's savior. You're simply meant to be a support system for others on their journey, just as you are meant to receive support from others on your journey. So this energy this week just feels like this coming to awareness that you can't continue the way that you're continuing if you're constantly showing up for others, right? If you're constantly doing for others, trying to fix others, trying to fix the situation, try to make everything right, you're going to burn out. That's not physically or emotionally possible or sustainable for very long. And so in where you can kind of see that as a defeat or a reflection on you, it's actually a call to say, take it down a few notches and understand that you also need support and you also need nurturing to be able to continue on your path forward. You're not, an island. And again, you're not somebody else's savior. And so that sounds a little bit harsh, but again, at your essence, at your core of a 9 energy, you are quite literally the humanitarian. That is your energy. So it's very easy for you to sort of fall into the extreme of feeling like you need to be everything for everybody. And when you can't physically possibly do that, you get very hard on yourself. And so you may see this week that you just sort of feel this feeling of defeat, but take a closer look at why you're feeling that way. Is it because you are trying to do something that's not sustainable emotionally and you need to take it down a few notches and actually ask for support and receive that support from others? It really is an energetic two-way street. You are meant to show up for others out of the graciousness of your heart and, be there in service for others, but you are also meant to receive that energy as well. It's not just you constantly giving. And so I feel like this week you're going to have some opportunities to take a closer look at where you are constantly the giver, where you are constantly the doer, where it's all falling on your shoulders. And it's not necessarily, we can't blame the other person or the other people for this. We get to choose what we participate in. So if we're constantly choosing to show up to a situation that's not healthy or that's toxic, or that we are just constantly giving of ourselves, it's up to us to make those adjustments. It's up to us to mitigate that situation and then set those healthy boundaries. Remember, we come back to that 6th energy of November, which is, again, finding that balance, finding that equilibrium, and setting those healthy boundaries. It's okay to be loving and nurturing and giving, but we also have to receive that energy. And we also have to be careful that we're not overextending ourselves so that we can continue to do this work in a productive, progressive way. Okay. So there's sort of a little bit of a harsh energy that 3rd week, but it's just trying to sort of shine the light on where you are giving of yourself too much, right? And it could be falling into that extreme of interference, which of course you wouldn't want to do intentionally, but again, there's that possibility, that energy there. So this is just a checkpoint. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. Sorry, I had to do it. But yeah, just a checkpoint, check in with yourself, see what am I doing that's not sustainable, and how can I mitigate that? Okay. Then we move into the 4th week of November, and it's we're back to this beautiful, inspirational, fast moving energy, sort of moving you from what feels like a desert situation to an oasis. And so again, it's going to take time. It's going to take dedication and persistence and motivation to move you forward. But there's this energy sort of lifting you up. It's almost like once you realize that you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others, going back to the airplane. When you fly and they say, put your own oxygen mask on first, that's sort of the realization that kind of is coming about this 3rd week of November for 9s is you have to put your own oxygen mask on first, and then you can help others to put theirs on. So, and again, it's an assistance. It's not something you have to do for them. But anyway, so this 4th week, it's like once you come to that realization around the 3rd week, all of a sudden your spirit is lifted. You are, the wind is in your sails. And again, you're back to that energy that was at the beginning of the month that was just lifting you. And, you had your goals and ideas and your mindset, and you were starting to make the progress, and you were feeling really good and really excited about the movement forward. And now this energy at the end of the month is coming in to say, let's move, let's go, let's take action. And so it's quickly moving you. I say quickly, but it's kind of like it's action time. It's time to start doing something about those ideas, doing something about those inspirations, doing something to help yourself move forward. Okay. And so it's kind of like you get the green light at the end of the month to really put those ideas to work. Okay, in a really beautiful way. And it feels like you following your passion and your inspiration, which is really, really powerful. So, however that comes in for you, nines. And so I pulled an animal spirit card to see what sort of the overall energy for specifically for nines was for November. And it's interesting. You guys got tortoise spirit. And tortoise says you're too fragmented. So do whatever it takes to get grounded. And what immediately comes to mind is, again, that energy around the third week of November where your energy is just dispersed too far, too much, in too many places. You need to rein the energy back in and choose what you want to focus your energy on, because that's where you're going to have the most momentum. That's where you're going to have that fast moving forward movement and that energy moving into December and into 2021 is where you focus your energy. But if you're constantly fragmented, if you're fragmenting your energy so that it's in a million different pots and trying to help a million different people do a million different things, and you're just overextending yourself, then your energy is sort of fragmented where it just can't grip onto anything. It can't hold on to anything. It can't, there can't be a lot of forward momentum because it's too dispersed. And so this is just a call to rein that energy back in and then be very decisive as far as where you choose to focus your energy. Pick a few things, pick a few situations, right? And then focus your energy there instead of dispersing it everywhere. And then another thing I'm drawn to is the picture of the tortoise, right? And that reminder that it's a journey and not a sprint. So again, you may have to continuously remind yourself to bring your focus back, to bring your energy back, and to find your focus. And what do you want to focus your energy on? And understand that as you focus your energy, it's going to take time to build whatever it is that you want to build, or, acquire whatever it is that you want to acquire, but that's okay, because that's where the longevity comes in. That's where the sustainability comes in. Most times when something when it occurs quickly, it's not sustainable, right? It's kind of like a burst of energy and then it dissipates. And so again, what you're being called to do is harness your energy, and then you get to decide where you focus that energy. And in focusing the energy, understanding that you might not get instant gratification, you might not get instant results, and that's okay, because what you're working towards, what you're focusing on, is something that is sustainable and will sustain you long term. And that's what you want, right? So nines, you guys, you have such beautiful, loving energy. And so sometimes, though, the shadow side of that is that you just want to help everyone. And it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful energy to have, but it can get you into trouble. And so it's, again, because you oftentimes will overlook yourself and your own needs, and then that's not sustainable. And so this month, I feel like you're going to have the opportunities to take a closer look at how you need to rein your energy in, how, what you want to focus on, and then be realistic when it comes to those, where you're putting your focus, right? If you're trying to save somebody, then maybe take a closer look at why you're trying to save them, because you're actually taking their power away. They need to save themselves. You can be a support system. You can be a resource to help them. Remember, you can help them to put their mask on, their oxygen mask on, but you shouldn't really do it for them, right? So again, you need to do yours first and then assist them in doing theirs. So you get what I'm trying to say. Powerful energies for you, nines. Of course, I wouldn't expect anything different. You guys are such a high energetic vibration. It's just, you guys, we all fall in and out of alignment, but it's like, you guys have definitely a intense journey in this lifetime, but a beautiful one. And so you're just constantly being guided back to yourself to see where you can make some adjustments so that what you're trying to do is sustainable. Okay, this was a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading where we'll take a look at your personal energies, then please book some time with me. My link is in the description box below. I would love to work with you, see how these energies are potentially coming in specifically for you, and help you move through them. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Take care. Bye for now.